Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign in peace, all bow to honor it, and this we count as gain, to hand unto our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant these our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty Nigeria may be blessed.
Good morning. Please let us play.
Good morning, everybody. I'd like to invite Chief Timothy Adesion to kindly say the opening prayer.
Thank you for bringing us together to deliberate on our investment Guaranty Trust Holding Company PLC. We especially thank you for the leadership role you are putting this company to achieve. We thank you for the life of our chairman, and the company managing director. We thank you for all the members of the board and all the stakeholders. We thank you for all the staff and everybody contributing to the progress of this bank. Father, accept our praise in Jesus' name. We also thank you for the kind of results this company is achieving. We thank you. You are putting us in a leadership position, and we are praying that you will continue to stand with us, stand by us, and always lead us aright. In Jesus' name. I pray that the Spirit of the Lord will continue to guide and all our directors, the chairman, Mr. Onilola, Mr. Shegun Agbaje, and all the people contributing to the progress of this our company, Guaranty Trust Holding Company. Father, be with us in this meeting, and everything that we shall do shall be led and guided by your Holy Spirit. These and other things we ask for in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Please, I would like this last year, but he has been snatched away by the cold hands of death. Let us observe 1 minute silence for him. Mr. Tunde Badmus, that the Lord God may grant him eternal rest. 1 minute silence, please. May his gentle soul rest in peace. Amen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May God hear all our prayers. Again, I want to welcome you to this annual general meeting, our esteemed shareholders, proxies, representatives of the regulatory authorities, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Nigerian Exchange Limited, the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, the Corporate Affairs Commission, our auditors, Ernst & Young, our external consultant, Deloitte & Touche, observers, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. So it gives me great pleasure to bid you all a very warm welcome to this 4th annual general meeting of our company, Guaranty Trust Holding Company, PLC. To get started, I want to draw your attention to the register of shareholders of the company, which is available for inspection. I would also want to draw your attention to the directors, register of directors shareholding, which is available for inspection in compliance with Section 301, subsection 8 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. I draw your attention to the registry of directors' attendance at meetings, which is available for your inspection pursuant to Section 284(2) of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. In line with our usual tradition, I would like to commence the proceedings at this meeting by introducing members of the board, as well as our officers, the representatives of the regulatory authorities, and the advisors of our company. So I'll start by introducing the directors of the company. And we have Mr. Segun Agbaje, our group CEO. Segun, you're welcome. Mr. Suleiman Barau, an independent non-executive director of the company. Mrs. Helen Bouygues, an independent non-executive director of our company. Mrs. Catherine Echiozo, a non-executive director of our company. Mr. Banji Adeni, an executive director of our company. Mr. Eri Eubebeduo, the company secretary of our company. Moving to our regulators, we have representatives of the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Corporate Affairs Commission, the Nigerian Exchange Limited, and the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation. I will now introduce our advisors. First, we have our auditors, Messrs. Ernst & Young. We have our external consultant, Messrs. Deloitte & Touche, on the annual board appraisal. Next is Mrs. Olufisola Folayon, representing Datamax registrars. We have Mrs. Sandra Mbagu Fagbemi, shareholders representative and chairman of the statutory audit committee of the company. And may I now introduce myself. My name is Hezekiah Shola Oyinlola, chairman of the board of directors. May I, at this point, call upon the company secretary to read the notice convening this meeting. Hey.
Good morning, distinguished shareholders. Notice of annual general meeting. Notice is hereby given that the 4th annual general meeting of Guaranty Trust Holding Company PLC will hold virtually via https:/www.gtcoplc.com GTCO 4th annual general meeting on April 24, 2025 at 10 a.m. to transact the following business. Ordinary business. 1, to receive the audited financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2024, and the reports of the directors, auditors, and statutory audit committee thereon. 2, to declare a dividend. 3, to authorize directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors. 4, to disclose the remuneration of managers of the company. 5, to elect members of the statutory audit committee. Special business. 6, that in compliance with the rule of the Nigerian Exchange Limited, governing transactions with related parties or interested persons, the company and its related entities be and are hereby granted a general mandate in respect of all recurrent transactions entered into with a related party or interested person, provided such transactions are of a revenue or trading nature or are necessary for the company's day-to-day operations. This mandate shall commence on the date on which this resolution is passed and shall continue to operate until the date on which the next annual general meeting of the company is held. 7, that non-executive directors' remuneration for the financial year ending December 31, 2025, and for succeeding years until reviewed by the company in its annual general meeting, be and is hereby fixed at 58 million naira annually for each director. Proxy. A member entitled to attend and vote at the annual general meeting is entitled to appoint a proxy to attend and vote in his stead. A proxy need not be a member of the company. For the appointment to be valid, a completed proxy form must be deposited at the office of the registrar, Datamarks Registrars Limited, number 2C, Bagada Express Road, Bagada Phase 1, Lagos State, not less than 48 hours before the time fixed for the meeting. A blank proxy form is attached to the annual report. The company will bear the cost of stamping of all its duly completed and signed proxy forms submitted within the stipulated time. By the order of the board. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. I would like to draw your attention to Section 51A of the Articles of Association of our company, which states that no business shall be transacted at any general meeting unless a quorum of members is present at the time when the meeting proceeds to business. And save as herein otherwise provided, a quorum for any general meeting of the company shall be formed when there are present in person or by proxy 100 members listed in the shareholders register of the company. Information received from the registrar indicated that a total of 991 shareholders representing holders of 56.15% of the company's issued share capital were present at the commencement of this meeting, out of which 545 shareholders are present in person, while 446 shareholders are present by proxy. Based on the foregoing, a quorum has been formed and this meeting is duly convened and properly constituted. Further to the provisions of the Business Facilitation Act, Section 240 of the CAMA, as amended, to enable public companies conduct their general meetings electronically, we have taken advantage of that provision for this meeting. Shareholders should note that all microphones have been muted throughout the duration of the meeting, except when permission has been granted to speak. You may request permission to ask questions during the Q&A session by clicking on the raise hand icon on the online platform. And please state your name once you have been called upon to speak. You can also type in your questions in the Q&A window, which can be accessed on the Q&A icon. Thank you for these house rules. I now have the pleasure of presenting the annual financial statements and the director's report of the company, as well as the chairman's statement for the year ended December 31, 2024, copies of which have been previously circulated to shareholders, and suggest that they be taken as read. So, as said, I've laid before you the director's report and the annual accounts of the year ended December 31, 2024, in accordance with the Companies and Allied Matters Act and the company's Articles of Association. I will now invite auditors, represented here by Mr. Olumide Oshikoya, Ernst & Young, to read the report of the auditor, which I believe is presented on pages 119 to 125 of the annual report. Mr. Oshikoya.
Thank you. Good morning, members. Good morning, shareholders, and good morning, Chairman. So I will be reading the independent auditor's report on the audit of the consolidated and separate financial statement, which is contained on pages 119 to 125. I would also be reading the independent auditor's attestation report on management assessment of internal control over financial reporting, which is contained on pages 117 to 118. But I will only be reading pertinent sections, and I will consider other sections as read. Now, the independent auditor's attestation report on management assessment of internal control over financial reporting to the shareholders of Guaranty Trust Holding Company PLC. Scope. We've been engaged by Guaranty Trust Holding Company PLC, the company, to perform a limited assurance engagement based on international standards on assurance engagement other than audit or reviews of historical financial information, ISA 3000 revised, and Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, FRC guidance on assurance engagement report on internal control over financial reporting. Herein referred towards the engagement to report on Guaranty Trust Holding Company PLC's internal control over financial reporting, ICFR, the subject matter. Contained in Guaranty Trust Holding Company PLC, the group's management assessment on internal control over financial reporting as at 31st December 2025, the report. I will then skip to the next page where I would read our conclusion. Conclusion and consider other sections as read. In conclusion, nothing has come to our attention to indicate that the internal control of financial reporting put in place by management is not adequate as of 31st December 2024, based on the requirements of committee or sponsoring organizations of the Tradeway Commission, COSO framework, and SEC guidance on management report on internal control of financial reporting. Other matters. We have also audited in accordance with the international standards on auditing the consolidated and separate financial statements of Guaranty Trust Holding Company PLC and its subsidiaries for the year ended 31st December 2024, and we expressed an unmodified opinion in our report dated 28 March 2025. Our conclusion is not modified in respect of this matter. Signed by Antonio Puta, 28 March 2025. I hereby move to the independent auditor's report to the shareholders of Guaranty Trust Holding Company PLC, report on the audit of consolidated and separate financial statements, which is contained on page 4.
What name did you join with? What name did you use? What name? Just see it online.
Opinion.
Yes.
We have audited the consolidated and separate financial statements of Guaranty Trust Holding Company PLC, the company, and its subsidiaries, together the group, which comprise the consolidated and separate statements of financial position as at 31st December 2024, and the consolidated and separate income statements, the consolidated and separate statements of all the comprehensive income, the consolidated and separate statements of changes in equity, and consolidated and separate statements of cash flows for the year ended 31st December 2024, and notes to the consolidated and separate financial statements, including material accounting policy information. In our opinion, the accompanying consolidated and separate financial statements give a true and fair view of the consolidated and separate financial position of the group and the company as at 31st December 2024, and its consolidated and separate financial performance and consolidated and separate cash flows for the year ended 31st December 2024, in accordance with IFRS accounting standards as issued by the International Accounting Standards Board, the provisions of the Company and Allied Matters Act 2020, the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act of year 2020, and relevant circulars issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and in compliance with the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, Amendment Act 2023. I would consider the basis for opinion as read, key audit matters section as read, where we have impairment of loans and advances to customers and implementation of new core banking application with impact on financial reporting as read, other information section as read, the responsibilities of the directors for the consolidated and separate financial statements as read, auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the consolidated and separate financial statements as read, and now to the report on the other legal and regulatory requirements, which is contained on page G124. In accordance with the requirement of the 5th schedule of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, we confirm that we have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. We confirm that, in our opinion, proper books of account have been kept by the group and the company, insofar as it appears from our examination of those books. We confirm that the consolidated and separate statements of financial position and the consolidated and separate income statement, consolidated and separate statements of other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of account, and we confirm that, in our opinion, the consolidated and separate financial statements have been prepared in accordance with the provisions of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, so as to give a true and fair view of the state of affairs and financial performance of the company and its subsidiaries. In compliance with the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act 2020 and circulars issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria, we confirm that related party transactions and balances are disclosed in Note 44 of the consolidated and separate financial statements in compliance with Central Bank of Nigeria Circular number BSD/1/2004. We confirm that returns of customer complaints of Guaranty Trust Bank Limited, a wholly owned subsidiary of Guaranty Trust Holding Company PLC, are disclosed on page 31, complaints and feedback, and page 294, other information. Complaints and feedback in compliance with Central Bank of Nigeria Circular number PDR/DIR/CIR/01/20. We confirm that, as disclosed in Note 45 to the consolidated and separate financial statements, the company and Guaranty Trust Bank Limited paid penalties in respect of contraventions of certain sections of the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act 2020 and certain circulars issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria during the year ended 31st December 2024. Signed by Antonio Puta, 28th March 2025. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shikoya. I will now invite Mrs. Sandra Mbagu Fagbemi, the chairman of the Statutory and Audit Committee, to read the Statutory Audit Committee report. She's virtual, right?
Thank you, my chairman. Thank you, chairman. The report of the Statutory Audit Committee for the year ended December 31st, 2024. To the members of Guaranty Trust Holding Company PLC, In accordance with the provisions of Section 4047 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2004, the members of the Audit Committee of Guaranty Trust Holding Company PLC hereby report as follows. We have exercised our statutory functions under Section 4047 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2004 and acknowledge the cooperation of management and staff in the conduct of these responsibilities. We are of the opinion that the accounting and reporting policies of the company and group are in accordance with legal requirements and agreed ethical practices, and that the scope and planning of both the external and internal audit for the year ended December 31st, 2024 were satisfactory and reinforced the group's internal control systems. We are satisfied that the company has complied with the provisions of Central Bank of Nigeria Circular BSD/1/2004, dated 18th February 2004, on disclosure of directors-related credits in the financial statements of companies, and hereby confirm that an aggregate amount of 177,375,000 was outstanding as at 31st December 2024. The aggregate amount, the corresponding figure for the year December 31st, 2023 was 253,375,000. The status of performance of insider-related credits is as disclosed in Note 44D. We have deliberated with the external auditors who have confirmed that necessary cooperation was received from management in the course of the statutory audit, and we are satisfied with management's responses to the external auditor's recommendations on accounting and internal control matters and the effectiveness of the bank's system of accounting and internal control. The Statutory Audit Committee report was signed by myself on the 27th of January 2025, and my FRC number is as stated thereon. The members of the Statutory Audit Committee are myself, Mrs. Sandra Mbagu-Fagbemi, Alhaji M.A. Usman, Mrs. Aderonke Kuye, who are members of the statutory, who are shareholders representatives, and Mrs. Celine Briggs and Mrs. Catherine Echozo, directors representatives. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's the end of our report.
Fagbemi. Now invite Mrs. Ibukun B. Croft, to a representative of the external consultant, Deloitte and Touche, to read the report of the external consultant on the board appraisal in line with the Central Bank of Nigeria Code of Corporate Governance, which is applicable to the company.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, sir, and thank you for having me. I read the report of the independent consultant on the review of the corporate governance framework and performance of the board of directors of Guaranty Trust Holding Company. It's on page 97 of your pack. Deloitte and Touche has performed the annual review of the corporate governance framework and evaluation of the performance of the board of directors of Guaranty Trust Holding Company for the year ended 31st December 2024. The scope of our review included an assessment of the structure, mandate, and performance of the board committees, and management as it relates to the overall strategic direction of the company, stakeholder engagement, disclosures, and transparency. The review was performed in compliance with the corporate governance guidelines for the financial holding companies issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Nigerian Code of Corporate Governance. The scope of our review included an assessment of key areas of Guaranty Trust Holding Company corporate governance framework, including the framework of the board structure and the composition, board operations and effectiveness, assurance function, corporate disclosure, and relationship with stakeholders. Our evaluation report was premised on the DEX review of relevant governance documents, policies and procedures, interview sessions with directors, and the select members of executive management, and survey responses received from the directors. The result of our evaluation has shown that the board and the corporate governance framework and practices in Guaranty Trust Holding Company comply with the provisions of the Extant Code of Corporate Governance. We have also ascertained that the key board functionaries, that is the board and board committees chairperson and the board committees, met their responsibilities under the codes and the governance charter in Guaranty Trust Holdco. The report further highlights details of our review activities, observations, and some recommendations for the board and executive management action for sustained improvement to the performance of the board, corporate governance, and secretarial functions of Guaranty Trust Holdco. It should be noted that the matters raised in this report are only those that came to our attention during our review. The evaluation is limited in nature and does not necessarily disclose all significant matters about the company or reveal any irregularities. As such, we do not express any opinion on the activities reported. The report should be read in conjunction with the corporate governance section of the annual report. Signed by myself, Ibukun Bicroft, and my FRC number stated. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Ibukun. I guess we are ready for the questions and answers section after the auditors and consultants report on the annual financial statements. So we're going to take questions from our esteemed shareholders on the reports that have been laid before you in this meeting. The questions can be on any point you find in the annual report or on the general questions on the operations of the company. So indicate your intention to ask questions by using the raise hand button on the online platform or by typing your questions in the Q&A window. I hereby request that if questions are being asked on the annual report and the accounts, speakers should please make appropriate reference to the relevant page to ensure that the right answers are given. In addition, it will be helpful if you are brief and you restrict your questions or comments one or two at a time to afford others the opportunity to speak. We will take note of all the questions and answers until the end, at which time the group CEO, Mr. Agbaje, would respond so we can effectively manage the whole section together. Each shareholder, once we call upon, should kindly state his or her name before asking any questions. I now invite shareholders to ask their questions to our group CEO. How is this going?
Hello, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Hello,
Mrs. Bakker.
good morning.
Good morning, you're on.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Mrs. Bisi Bakari. I'm the National Coordinator of Pragmatic Shareholders Association of Nigeria. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Board of Directors, regulatory authorities present, distinguished shareholders, good morning to every one of you. Mr. Chairman, I would like to start my comments by commending the board, management, and staff of GITCO PSC for their stellar performance and resilience in the face of adversity. In addition, sir, I want to commend the remarkable financial performance of GITCO PSC, which grew its gross earnings by 81% that is on page 50 to 2.14 trillion. This was achieved through the growth in the loan book by 12.3% from 2.48 trillion to 2.77 trillion, with growth in total assets and shareholders fund by 14.8 trillion and 2.7 trillion respectively. This is highly commendable, sir. I will go straight to page 6 of the annual report and account, that is on dividend. I want to join the shareholders of GISCO PLC in commending the board for the proposed final dividend declaration of 7 naira 3 kobo, which brings the total dividend payment to 8 naira 3 kobo from 3.23 naira 20 kobo paid last year. This is an increase of about 60% over the previous dividend. And again, this is the highest dividend payment in the history of GISCO PLC. We shareholders applaud the entire board management for this wonderful achievement. Page 23. On page 23, that is on the 2025 outlook. I want to ask that how do you hope to sustain this sterling financial performance, unlock various financial market opportunities, invest in innovation and digital capabilities, while ensuring we continue to play our leading role in the financial sectors? Page 33. How do you assess and manage emerging risks, such as cybersecurity threats and climate change, to ensure watertight security measures that safeguard system and stakeholders fund? Page 129. What is GT Bank doing to manage non-performing loans and reducing credit risk? And how do you hope, or how do you plan to leverage technology to improve customer experience and operational efficiency? In addition, sir, I want to commend GISCO PLC for being the first financial institution to cross the 1 trillion profit mark. This is highly commendable, Mr. Chairman. On that note, I want to really commend the entire board, management, and staff of GISCO PLC for the excellent results. Page 25 and 30. I want to ask that, are we considering our bank expansion into more African countries, taking advantage of our digital strengths and the need to harness fast business opportunities available? Lastly, on a final note, I would like to congratulate our company, GISCO PLC, on several awards received during the year under review. Once again, I thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity given to me to speak. Thanks, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bakari. Next question, please. Online or real?
The chairman of our noble company, Guaranty Trust Bank Company.
You're welcome, Chief.
PLC. I thank the board staff and management of this bank for working on 4 key financial areas of banking, funds management, pensions, and payments. Working on these 4, you have been able to give us the kind of results which we have never had before. And to you, management and staff of Guaranty Trust Investment Holding Company, we say thank you very much for the kind of results we are considering. We thank you for the robust financial performance, the efficient cost management of the company, as reflected on page 55 of this annual report. The cost-income ratio of 24, cost to cost to income ratio of 24.20% from what it was before, which was about 48.14% in year 2022, and in year 2023 it rose to 29.49%. But today, the income to cost ratio has been reduced to 24.20%, and hence you are able to give us the kind of a dividend of 8 naira 3 kobo, which we have never experienced before, both in Guaranty Trust Holding Company, PLC, or in any other financial institution investment. We cannot but thank the efforts of the chairman, Mr. Oyilola, and Mr. Shegun Agbaje, with their team, who are working relentlessly 24/7 to achieve this kind of result. And achieving this result is not what is even important, but their willingness to distribute the size of dividend they are giving to us, because the payment of dividend depends on the decision of the board and management of the board. If they deem it fit, and we appreciate you deem it fit to make us richer, may the Lord God continue to bless you and all yours. Anything you put your hands in will always thrive, in Jesus' name. I will not forget to thank you on your achievement in bringing the capital adequacy ratio to 39.6%. This is fantastic. While the government is expecting something lesser than that, you are operating at a capital adequacy ratio of 39.6%, which makes it possible for us to have the kind of a dividend you are giving us. We thank you, we appreciate you, and we also cannot forget to thank you on your social responsibilities and different spheres of your operation. The operations of the bank has been very excellent, and you build on the 3 pillars of success, which is the operation with your operational excellence, discipline, the risk management, and the relentless focus on customers' centric innovations. We thank you, and we pray that God will continue to uphold the staff, board, management, and the stakeholders of Guaranty Trust Holding Company. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, very much, Chief. Thank you very much on behalf of this board and the management and the entire team. And we also thank you for the shareholders' endorsement and support. Next question, please. Let me know when to speak out.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, you are on.
Are you hearing me?
We are hearing you loud and clear.
Mr. Chairman, good morning. Happy to see you.
Same here.
Group MD, good morning. And the other directors. Happy to see you virtual. Mr. Chairman, I want to commend the board for the good result we are considering this very morning. GTCO have done very well as a holding company, and our bank, the subsidiaries, have done very well. I want to commend you for the 8 Naira 3 Kobo final we're receiving today, having paid 1 Naira during the course of the year, and the final you're giving to us. I think that's one of the highest in the industry. Very commendable. Mr. Chairman, I have sent any question through the company secretary. So I don't want to bore you, but I want to mention one of the germane issues that our bank industry has facing. On page 259, Mr. Chairman, that's got to do with the income expenses, 36.6 billion as against 27.3 billion in the previous year. What are we doing to address this issue? But I want to ask a question today. As a holding company, they won't have any toxics that income will take away from us, that we are paying this huge of money year in, year out with income. Based on the huge profit you made this year, that have increased automatically. That means if the profit before tax is running from 2 trillion, they come this 2025 that we're ending, that means we're going to also double our payment to income. Mr. Chairman, this issue has to be addressed by the Bankers Committee, but the income at least is usefulness to the industry. Because somebody cannot come and reap where they did not sow. We have been hammering on these things over the years, and nobody wants to listen to us. It has paid in deaf ears. If this money is here today, we are rejoicing and celebrating 8 Naira final dividend, 8 Naira 3 Kobo. I think we would have done more than that. We would have doubled our payout dividend, because this company is a listening company. The board listen, and they know where the shoe pinches to the shareholders and rewarding them adequately. Mr. Chairman, what are we going to do in making sure income exists from taking this huge source of money from shareholders? Mr. Chairman, that is very, very important. On look of the same on that page 259, that got to do with insurance premium, which is deposit insurance premium. That one is understandable, Mr. Chairman. 21.9 billion as against 17 billion in previous year. Yes, that one can understand it, because deposit insurance is doing a little, at least that 50,000 deposit insured with every depositor when the bank failed, and they've been paying it and paying consequently bonuses when they realize from asset stripping or sale, they're able to make up to pay depositors. But in income, we are not seeing anything of such nature, and they are packing out billions, because what income takes is more than what NDSC, that insure depositor, take year in, year out. This cannot continue, Mr. Chairman. We have a calling on the federal government to leave income to exit, and they are still appointing the board. They are still appointing the MD, which the Bankers Committee does not appoint. And at the same time, we have a whooping sum of money in page 295, Mr. Chairman, that got to do with restriction on the banking industry today. The money you cannot have access to. What do we do, Mr. Chairman? 1.9 trillion as I get 1.6 in previous year. That is a restricted fund that you have with CBN, and you cannot make use of it. I want to add the group MD. Since you represent on the bank, the MD of the bank represents us in the Bankers Committee. Are we standing any interest on those restricted funds with CBN? I want to know if they have even paid 1% or 0.1%, 0.1%. That is something that we can demonstrate and also use it to pay dividend or do our businesses. If you have this money today to deploy in doing business, how much earning are we going to have? That would double. We're talking about 2 trillion made on earning. That should have been double. Maybe we're looking at about 3 trillion or 4 trillion. Mr. Chairman, these regulators are killing the industry. They are not minded on what investors are suffering. Today, you raise to the market to raise fund, and at the same time, you pay all the etc., etc. You see them before you can pay check, pay this and that, all regulators. The way they are finding banks today, because we're talking about banks, our subsidiary, the main source of our income. Thank God we have the visionary leaders in GT Hoko today. We have now our pay point. That's hybrid pay is doing very well. I want to commend them for excellent job that subsidiary is doing to contribute to the Hoko growth. Excellent performance for that company. Because, Mr. Chairman, technology is the anthem. We want to thank them what they're doing. And also I want to urge the pension fund managers of our company to double their effort in bringing an income, supporting the group. I want to commend these companies for their resilience, for the showing that yes, establishing them will not lose tracks. They are going to contribute for the group to pay more higher dividend in future. Mr. Chairman, on that page 259, cost of doing business have gone high in Nigeria today, and any company that weathered the storms and able to propose higher dividends should be commendable. Mr. Chairman, I want also thank you for the prudence we have been seeing in running the company, even though the double any growth. Mr. Chairman, but look at previously, all total expenses was 1.6 billion in previous year. This year, 259 billion, 259.59 billion. That means we are prudent in curtailing this high cost of doing business in Nigeria. Mr. Chairman, I am also worried that that is also going on the high side, as I gave 1.5 billion in previous year. Yes, the company paid 81 million last year, but this year 65 million on the company. But I think, Esther Young should do all better, not increasing every year, because we have many auditors out there to do the job. Even though they are doing a good job, that's not that they should increase every year. Occupancy cost, Mr. Chairman, we should also watch that. 17.2 billion occupancy cost, as again 9.8 billion. That also growing astronomically. We need to watch that. Mr. Chairman, on page 96, we want also thank you for giving back to the society in which you operated upon. The bank spent almost 962.6 million this year in giving out to societies. Mr. Chairman, I want to urge the board to continue to spread this good news to other geographical areas, not only on the corporate bodies, but also to less privileged in society. Thank you for the educational support. Mr. Chairman, what baffles me here is the security. What we're giving to security support, almost 100 million, but still we have security challenges. The company cannot be doling out money every year to supporting security organization, but still to provide, our operational branches, we need to pay those who are being hired, private securities, and see we're doling out money to security. Security is the challenge of government. But this corporate body who have been donating out, they must make good of use of it, to deploy security to our branches. We're spending a lot. Since yesterday, people have no electricity in their home, but that sort of want to have solar energy. That means national grid has collapsed completely. But look at how many branches we have. They're on diesel every day, every hour, on diesel. Do their business.
Mr. Okezie, please restrict yourself to the. Oh, they've got. Okay, sorry.
Spend a lot.
Thank you.
To the society.
Could you end your contribution so we can take one more? No? Oh, we have some online questions as well, which we want to incorporate into the MD's answers. Thank you.
All right, I'll try to respond. Good morning, distinguished shareholders. We have some online questions, so apart from the ones you've heard, I'll take them after. Started with Mrs. Bisi Bakari. Thank you very much. Commending the board and management on strong financial results. Thank you. We will try to keep that up. You also commended the organization on the dividends of 8 Naira 3 Kobo. Thank you very much. Then you have a lot of very difficult questions, but I will try. How will we sustain these results? Well, we will continue to work hard, as we've always done. We will try to innovate. We'll try to be disciplined. If you look and read the annual report, you will see that we're changing technology, we're growing different areas, and that we have transited from just being a bank to a holding company. It's funny when I hear the accolades today about going holding company, because I remember 3 years ago, everybody said we came late and that we wouldn't grow the funds management business, we wouldn't grow the pension business, we wouldn't grow the payment business. But I think the results are beginning to show you that the diversification of earnings into a holding company and outside of Nigeria started to work very well. And that for as long as we continue to do these things, we will sustain the momentum of growth. How do we manage cyber risk? I wish I could answer that question for you. I think one of the things that keeps every CEO up is cyber risk. We continue to invest in both technology and human beings and people. But as you can imagine, people wake up every day and look for how to beat the system. It is my experience that they always seem to be one step ahead of us, but we will continue to try. So cyber risk remains clear and present danger for any financial institution. NPLs, I think our NPLs are 5.2 IFRS. I think we have a completely de-risked loan book at this point. If you take our stage 2 loans, they're now 2.6%, down from 16.3. So we think the NPLs going into the future will be well under control. African expansion, hopefully one country, Senegal, which would take our Francophone West Africa franchises to 2. Awards, thank you very much. Awards belong to the staff, management, and the board. So on their behalf, I will take the accolades. Chief Adesio, again, thanking the board and management for the results. Again, much appreciated. Cost to income ratio, 24%. You like the cost efficiency. I think we decided about 14 years ago that probably one of the only sustainable sources of competitive advantage in banking was cost. And so we have very tight expense controls, we have very tight cost. And when you compare our entire cost profile to those of our competitors, you might find at the very minimum a 600 billion naira advantage year to year. So it is something we work very hard at. You like good governance habits. Thank you. We will continue to aspire to best habits. There is a correlation between good governance and strong profitability. So selfishly, we will continue to do the same. Capital adequacy at 39% is strong. Thank you very much. CSR will continue to work on CSR. Where you make money in an environment, you owe that environment. So we will continue to give back. And hopefully, if we ever run into trouble, which we do from time to time, the same communities will support us. So thank you, communities, and thank you for the CSR we've done. Yes, in terms of customer service, I think if you look at our annual report and look at the cover, you might have missed something. We're about great experiences now. So it is about delighting the customer. It's about doing everything we're doing around the organization that is creating great experiences, whether it's in technology, whether it's in CSR, whether it's in food and drink, whether it's in fashion. It's all about great experiences, and we'll continue to work hard. Mr. Boniface Okeze, again, congratulations to the board and management for the results and the dividends. Then you go to AMCON. While I'm not going to hold brief for AMCON, I think you have to look back to what happened when we had a financial crisis, and we must always remember why AMCON started. We can always question whether it should continue or end, but I think there was a good reason for AMCON at the time it started, and we should try to remember that. And we will try to obviously work and see whether AMCON's time has passed or AMCON's time is still here. Your AMCON levies, just a point of correction, is really not based on your profitability, it's based on your balance sheet size. So you are right, though, it will grow. And if we get more successful, that 0.5 of balance sheet size will grow. But we'll see. In terms of NDIC premium, you're not averse to that. NDIC premium will also grow as you get more successful. We had 35% growth in deposits. If we achieve another 35%, then the NDIC premium will go up again in 2025. CRR, 1.9 trillion. It's a monetary policy tool. While we might not like CRR, I'm sure we all like the monetary policy stability that we see. Exchange rates are fairly stable, interest rates are at a good level, which means that the monetary policy tools are working, of which CRR is one. Yes, I have mentioned the subsidiaries. Hopefully they'll continue to grow, continue to add to group profitability, and we have targets for where we'd like them to be in about 3 years. OPEX, yes, OPEX did grow. We'll try to keep cost control, but as you can imagine, we're coming out of a period of pretty high inflation, and some of that is reflected in the OPEX that you've seen. Audit fees of Ernst & Young, I will appeal to them on your behalf, not to increase audit fees every year, but I am glad you acknowledge that they're doing a great job and the organization is growing, and so the work they're doing and the complexity of the job continues to grow. So CSR into more regions, we continue to do that, and I think from year to year we have expanded CSR. We used to be accused of only doing it in Lagos, and now if you look, our CSR is a bit more outside of Lagos. We had some online questions come in. The first one's from Ayola Gilbert Olufemi. He says, gross earnings and PBT have nearly doubled in 3 years. What are the key drivers behind the growth and how sustainable is it? I think the key drivers behind the growth are a couple of ways. If you look at where the growth has come from, interest income, which means we're growing the loan book, was up about 148%. Non-fee income is up 27%. We're keeping costs under control, which means transactions are growing. And those are the key drivers of growth. We're keeping costs under control, interest income is growing, non-funded income is growing. How sustainable is it? We believe it's sustainable. We think the currency will be stable, so you won't see a lot of fair value gains, and that we will make this up in the volumes. Asset quality and risk exposure. Loans and advances grew by 12%. Is this due to tighter risk controls or reduced lending appetite? I think that you always have to look at the risk in an environment, and as an organization, we're probably a low to medium risk organization in terms of credit. So are we happy with 12% growth? I think for 2024 we are. And I've always said to people, please don't always look at the asset side of a balance sheet as only loans and advances. While loans and advances only grew 12%, investment securities grew 48%. Also, money market placements grew 29%. These are all things that earn on the asset side. And sometimes we all concentrate on just loans and advances and forget that there are other things on the asset side of the balance sheet that make you money, which gives you an asset yield. And what you should concentrate on is what the overall net interest margin is. And the net interest margin for Guaranty Trust was 10.8%. So I think we're working the earning assets of our balance sheet quite well. Capital adequacy. You say, with total equity up 83%, how well capitalized is GTCO to pursue future expansion or withstand macroeconomic shocks? I think one of the earlier questions had said we have a capital adequacy of 39%. I think that is more than adequate to deal with any potential macro headwinds or growth that we might look at. Diversification. How does the performance of the non-banking subsidiaries align with the group's diversification strategy? I think I've answered that question. Today, they're approaching 2% of group in 3 years, and that is a group where the bank is about, at least as of last year, some 7% of group. It's almost a 35-year-old organization. So if in 3 years the non-banking subs are doing 2%, I think they're doing exactly what we set out for them to do. I've answered your other question on gross earnings increasing by 185% and what's fueling this. Then there's another question about assets under management more than doubling. Yes, they are doubling, and it is doubling on both the institutional retail side. Then I have another question from Mohammed. It says, regarding the last share sales, what is the current status of the allocation process for participants who have not yet received confirmation or shares, and what steps are being taken to rectify this? As far as I know, we've allocated all the shares for the people who qualified. I've also said that even though we didn't get the money to work with last year, because this exercise was completed in August of last year, even though capital verification delayed it, everybody who participated and qualified is eligible for last year's dividend. Chidi Jude Ogbona. I bought a share in GTB in 2024. I'm unable to log in the shareholders login. Please, what is the problem? I wish I could tell you. I'll have to blame those who are running the technology desk for that. Then I have Ibekwe Robert Adinuba. A shareholder, we want to leave questions to those who look at figures and numbers. I look at volume and value. So mine is to commend the quantum leap of our great bank, Guaranty Trust. Kudos to board management staff. Best wishes to all. Thank you very much. And the last one is from Adishio Adedayo. Says that a bank stopped charging their customers for alerts, credit or debit. What are we going to do along these lines? Absolutely nothing. I think everybody plays their own strategy. Good luck to that bank. We decide the things we would like to charge for, playing by the rules within the banker's tariff. Thank you very much.
Shegun, and congratulations on behalf of shareholders and stakeholders, I should say, and this board. So that brings us to the end of the first part of the program. We are now on to the resolutions that have been brought before this House, as listed by our company secretary earlier in the morning. So, in the exercise of the powers conferred on me by virtue of Section 248 1A of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, I would call a poll on resolutions 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7. So voting on the resolutions will be by poll, meaning that every shareholder voting in person or by proxy shall be entitled to one vote for every share that he or she holds. Statutory majority is required to approve the resolutions. Is a simple majority, meaning 50.1% for ordinary resolutions of the total votes cast of shareholders present and voting either in person or by proxy at this meeting. I can confirm that some shareholders have sent in their proxy forms indicating how their votes will be cast. Before voting begins, we are going to explain the electronic voting procedure. Thank you, Secretary, for reminding me. An old man needs to sit down sometimes. The electronic voting system, you will be required to enter the login page to confirm your dashboard is active and displaying the app appropriately. So before voting commences, you will be required to refresh your browser. We should go through this, right? When the voting process commences, the specific resolution being voted upon will appear on your screen with voting options for, against, and abstain displayed. Kindly note that you are required to click for indicating yes to vote in favor of a resolution, or against, indicating no to vote against the resolution, or abstain if you do not wish to vote on this resolution. And then click on submit to cast your vote. Voting on each resolution will be open for 1 minute, and you'll be allowed to change your vote during that 1 minute until the voting period elapses. Please remember to click submit to save your vote for that particular resolution. So we have put together a short video explaining the voting process. This is part of corporate governance and shareholder democracy. So for shareholders who are joining on their mobile phones, kindly be reminded to set your mobile phones to do not disturb mode to avoid calls interrupting your participation in the meeting or voting process. So the video on the use of the platform will now be played.
Welcome. This video provides a step-by-step guide on how to participate in the online voting process for the GTCO Annual General Meeting. Before voting begins, please return to the login page and confirm that your dashboard is active and displaying the app correctly. Before the voting process commences, shareholders are advised to refresh their browser. When the voting process commences, the specific resolution being voted upon will appear on your screen with the voting options for, against, and abstain displayed. Kindly select the option of your choice and click on the Submit button. Voting will be open for 1 minute only, and you can change your voting option before the voting period elapses. Please remember to click on the Submit button to save your vote. Thank you.
Why is Balaji Ajala showing on the screen? That must be an anomaly. Okay, so we shall now commence e-voting on the resolutions. Voting results will be displayed at the end of the electronic voting process for that resolution. And we would announce those results as the voting process, as the registrar informs and updates us. So we will proceed with the first resolution to receive the audited financial statements for the year December 31, 2024, and the reports of the directors, auditors, and the statutory audit committee thereon. May I have a seconder for the motion?
I, Bolaji Ajala, hereby second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Ajala. We are ready to vote. So please vote now. Can you see there? 1 minute. I can see. Oh, okay. Stop now. Okay. Stop voting now.
We have about 100% of the total votes cast in favor of the resolution. Thank you.
Yay. Thank you very much, shareholders. following the announcement of the voting results by the registrar, I hereby declare that the resolution to receive the audited financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2024, and the reports of directors, the auditors, and the statutory audit committee thereon has been duly carried. Thank you very much. We will now proceed to the second resolution, an important one, to pay a final dividend in the sum of 7.03 kobo per ordinary share to shareholders whose names appear in the company's register of members at the close of business on Wednesday, April 16, 2025, bringing the total dividend to be paid for the 2024 financial year to 8.03 kobo per ordinary share of 50 kobo each. May I have a seconder for the motion?
I saw to Mr. Chairman. My name is Mrs. Bakari Adebisi. I second the motion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for that secondment. So we will now commence the voting, e-voting process, and voting results will be announced at the end by the registrar as usual. So please vote now to declare a dividend. Stop vote now. Madam Registrar.
We have about 100% of total votes in favor of the resolution, yes.
Thank you very much. I guess that is evidence of unanimity in the dividend proposed. And following the announcement of the voting results, I hereby declare that the resolution to declare a dividend in the sum of 703 kobo per ordinary share to shareholders whose names appear in the company's register of members at the close of business on Wednesday, April 16th, 2025, bringing the total dividends to be paid for the 2024 financial year to 8.03 kobo per ordinary share of 50 kobo each has been duly carried. The next resolution is for shareholders' approval. Is Resolution 3 to authorize directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors. We heard the shareholder ask a question to the GCO at the time, earlier today. And we heard his answer to that. Our auditors are in the room. Thank you very much for your wonderful job over the years. May we have a seconder for the motion, please?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, the board and my co-shareholders. My name is Oluwaseun Omiolade Konsalami. I hereby second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we have the motion on the floor. We will now commence the e-voting process. Please vote now. not the directors, who else will fix the... It's a long 1 minute. Yes. So stop vote, and then Madam Registrar is reading us the results.
Yes, we have about 100% as well voting in favor of the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. For resolution 3, following the announcement of the voting results by the registrar, I hereby declare that the resolution authorizing directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors has been duly carried. We will now take resolution 4, which is to disclose the remuneration of managers of the company. Section 238 of the CAMA 2020, that's the Act, requires the company at each general meeting to disclose the remuneration of managers of the company. I hereby draw the attention of shareholders to page 258 of the annual report, which contains a detailed report on the remuneration of the managers of the company. May I have a seconder for the motion, please? Is that Chief Timothy?
I, Chief Timothy Adesina, so second.
Thank you, Chief. We will now commence the e-voting process again. Please vote now for the next 1 minute. We are done. Results, please.
We have 99.93% of the total votes cast in favor of the resolution and 0.07% against it. Thank you.
Thank you. Following the announcement of the voting results by the registrars, I hereby declare that the resolution on the disclosure of the remuneration of the managers of the company is hereby duly carried. The next resolution for shareholders' approval is resolution 6. It's a bit of a long one, so I'm going to read it carefully. To consider and approve in compliance with the rule of the Nigerian Exchange Limited governing transactions with related parties or interested persons, the company and its related entities, that's the group, be and are hereby granted a general mandate in respect of all recurrent transactions entered into with a related party or interested person, provided such transactions are of a revenue or trading nature or are necessary for the company's day-to-day operations. This mandate shall commence on the date on which this resolution is passed and shall continue to operate until the day on which the next annual general meeting of the company is held. May I have a seconder for this motion, please?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. My name is Jamaka Kaluota, and I hereby second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kalogwa. Shall we then commence the voting for the next 1 minute? Voting is over. Shall we have the vote count, please?
We have a total of 14.91 billion units of shares, representing about 99.99% of the total votes cast in favor of the resolution. 6 shareholders voted against it, having 50,360 units of shares. Thank you.
Thank you. Following the announcement of the voting results by the registrars, I hereby declare that the resolution number 6 is hereby duly carried. The next resolution is shareholders for shareholders approval is resolution 7. And I read the resolution as follows: that non-executive directors' remuneration for the financial year ending December 31, 2025, and for succeeding years until reviewed by the company in its AGM, be and is hereby fixed at 58 million naira annually for each director. It is pertinent to mention that executive directors do not receive directors' fees and sitting allowances. May I have a seconder for the motion?
Mr. Chairman.
I was getting worried there.
Mr. Chairman.
Please go ahead.
My name is Kabiru Abdullahi Tambad, shareholder from Sokoto State. I hereby second the motion, Mr. Chairman. And also I want to use this opportunity to commend our group CEO, Mr. Agbaje, and the chief and his team for a wonderful result and the final dividend of 7 Naira 3 Kobo. Also to commend the company secretary and the secretariat.
Thank you. May we have the voting comments now, please? Is it the same as last year? Is this the same as last year? Both the director's pay? Voting is over now. May we have the results, please?
We have a total of 14.921 billion units of shares, representing 99.57% of the total votes cast in favor of the resolution, and 24 shareholders voted against the resolution. They have 247,511 units of shares. Thank you.
Thank you. Following the announcement of the voting results by the registrars, I hereby declare that directors' remuneration for the financial year ending December 31, 2025, and for succeeding years until reviewed by the company in its annual general meeting is hereby fixed at 58 million naira annually for each director. We will now take Resolution 5, which is to elect members of the Statutory Audit Committee. Section 404, subsection 6 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act provides that nominations for election to the Statutory Audit Committee shall be in writing and shall be delivered to the Secretary at least 21 days before the date of the annual general meeting. The Act also provides that membership of the Statutory Audit Committee should be a maximum of 5 members, consisting of 3 representatives of the shareholders of the company and 2 non-executive directors. In compliance with Section 2493 of the Act, which states that there shall be no right to demand a poll on the election of members of the Statutory Audit Committee under Section 404, voting for this resolution can only be by show of hands. Okay. So we received 3 valid nominations by the Secretary for election into the Statutory Audit Committee. And the nominees are Sandra Mbagu Fagbemi, the incumbent chairperson, nominated by Bolaji Ajala; Alhaji Mohammed Usman, nominated by Boluwatifẹ́ Adesanya; Aderonke Kuye, third nominee, nominated by Omowumi Ololade. In view of the fact that only 3 qualifying nominations for representatives of shareholders of the Statutory Audit Committee were received for the 3 vacancies available, there shall be no need for elections. Accordingly, Mrs. Sandra Mbagu Fagbemi, Alhaji Mohammed Usman, and Mrs. Aderonke Kuye shall represent the shareholders and join the directors' representatives to constitute the Statutory Audit Committee for the company for the 2025 financial year. Thank you very much for those nominations and the election of this very important body of corporate governance in the company. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, shareholders, esteemed board members. So it is with a deep sense of gratitude and pride that I inform you that this annual general meeting is my own final annual general meeting as chairman of Guaranty Trust Holding Company, PLC, as I would be retiring from the board in May 2025. Serving as chairman of this remarkable institution, and especially the pioneer chairman after the group holding restructure, has been the distinguished honor of my life. Over the years, I have witnessed GTCO's continued ascendancy as a leading financial services powerhouse, a testament to the unwavering dedication of our board, the relentless drive of our leadership team, the trust reposed in us by you, our valued shareholders. As I take a bow from this role, I do so confident in the knowledge that GTCO's best days lie ahead. The group remains strong, purpose-driven, and is committed to excellence in all facets of its operations. In line with our succession plan and subject to regulatory approval, it is now my pleasure to welcome and introduce to you the incoming chairman, Mr. Suleiman Barao. I'm sure he's on somewhere live. A highly respected professional and former deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, whose track record of leadership and strategic insight speaks for itself. He has been also a pioneer director of the GTCO since its restructuring as a holdco. I am confident that under his guidance, GTCO will continue to thrive, to innovate, to deliver superior value, to continue to delight its customers, and deliver superior value to all its stakeholders. So I thank you once again for the opportunity to serve, and I remain forever proud to have been a part of this GTCO story. Thank you very much. People. So on that note, this concludes the business of the meeting, and I want to thank you all for attending the meeting, which I now declare closed. Please, let's rise for the national anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribes and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace, oh, bow to honor, and this we count as gain. To hand unto our children a banner without stain. Oh God of all creation, grant these our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed.